On the 28th of February 2026, the most powerful man in Iran was killed in a single airstrike. 8 days later, his son sat in his chair. For decades, this man never ran for office, never gave public speeches, never appeared in a single interview. Many Iranians had never even heard his voice. And yet, every major election Iran had for 20 years was allegedly engineered by him. Every protest that was crushed, he was reportedly behind it. The US Treasury sanctioned him for wielding power. His father didn't want to be seen wielding. Meet Mojtaba Khamenei, 56 years old, Iran's new supreme leader, the shadow prince who just stepped out of the darkness and into the most powerful seat in the Islamic Republic. This is AK World Vision, and this story is happening right now. I'm Amrinder Kumar, and today we are covering one of the most significant political developments in the world right now. Let's get into it. Before we talk about who Mojtaba is, you need to understand something critical. How does Iran actually choose a supreme leader? Iran's constitution gives this job to one body, the Assembly of Experts, 88 senior Islamic scholars, all elected by the Iranian public every 8 years. Their one job: select and oversee the supreme leader. When a supreme leader dies, they meet, debate, vote, and the majority winner becomes the next leader. The candidate must be a senior Islamic scholar, must deeply know Islamic law, must be politically capable of leading a nation. Simple enough in theory. But what happened in 2026 was anything but normal. Khamenei was killed on February 28. An interim council took over immediately as per the constitution. Then the IRGC, Iran's powerful revolutionary guard, began pressuring assembly members to vote for one specific person. According to Iran International, IRGC commanders made a first vote was held online on March 3. While bombs were literally falling on Iran, members described the atmosphere as unnatural. Those who argued against Mojtaba were given limited time to speak. Discussion was cut off. A vote was held. Then US and Israeli bombs hit the Assembly of Experts office in Qom after votes were cast, but before the count was complete. Objections were raised. A second session was called for March 5, moved near a religious shrine hoping the location would protect them from airstrikes. 8 members boycotted the process entirely. And on the 8th of March 2026, the 8-member Assembly of Experts announced a revolutionary Islamic Republic, founded explicitly to destroy monarchy, had just transferred power from father to son. So who is this man the world is now watching so closely? He is the second of 6 children of Ali Khamenei. Born in Mashhad, the same holy city where his father grew up in poverty. He was just 9 years old when his father became a central figure in the Islamic Revolution of 1979. He watched his father rise from imprisoned cleric to president to supreme leader, and from very early on, Mojtaba was being quietly shaped for power. He attended Alawi High School in Tehran, the training ground for Iran's regime elite. Former foreign ministers, parliament speakers, all passed through those same doors. He wasn't just learning religion, he was being inserted from childhood into Iran's power network. In 1987, at just 17 years old, he joined the IRGC and was sent to the front lines of the Iran-Iraq war. He served in the Habib Battalion of the 27th Division alongside clerics and commanders, who later became the most powerful figures in Iran's entire security apparatus. At 17, he was already building the network that would one day put him in the supreme leader's seat. In 1999, he moved to the holy city of Qom, studied Islamic theology, eventually became a theology teacher at the Qom seminary. But here is what made Mojtaba truly powerful. By 2009, he was reportedly in control of the Basij, the feared paramilitary militia used to crush domestic protests. When the Green Movement erupted that year, millions of Iranians flooded the streets after a disputed election and were brutally suppressed. Mojtaba's name was at the center of it. Protesters in the streets knew exactly who was behind the violence. They chanted and knew even then what was coming. One more thing worth noting: the qualification problem. Like his father before him, Mojtaba is not an Ayatollah. He is a Hojatul Islam, a mid-level cleric. Iran's constitution technically requires higher religious credentials for the top job. But when his father became supreme leader in 1989, he also wasn't fully qualified. The law was simply amended to accommodate him, history repeating itself. For 2 decades, Mojtaba Khamenei's name kept appearing at the center of Iran's most controversial moments. 2005 presidential election, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, a relatively unknown hardliner, suddenly surged out of nowhere and won. Former parliamentary speaker Mehdi Karoubi wrote a letter directly to the supreme leader, accusing Mojtaba of engineering the result behind the scenes. Ahmadinejad won again with a margin that stunned everyone. Mass protests erupted. Millions disputed the result. Once again, Mojtaba's name was at the center. US Treasury sanctions 2019. In 2019, the United States Treasury Department officially sanctioned him. The reason? He was representing the supreme leader in an official capacity despite never being elected or appointed to a government position. They also confirmed he worked closely with IRGC commanders to advance his father's destabilizing regional ambitions and oppressive domestic objectives. The financial empire. Mojtaba is believed to control significant financial assets through a network of associates and insiders, including accounts linked to Bank INA, a bank later forcibly dissolved by the Iranian state after going bankrupt from handing out massive insider loans. In January 2026, just weeks before the war began, Israel's Channel 14 reported that $1.5 billion in cryptocurrency had been sent to an account in Dubai, with approximately $328 million linked directly to Mojtaba, a man with no official title, no elected position, no public profile, allegedly moving hundreds of millions of dollars across the world. Before we talk about what Mojtaba means for the future, there is something deeply personal that must be acknowledged. On the 28th of February 2026, the same airstrike that killed his father also killed his wife Zahra Haddad Adel, his mother, his sister, his brother-in-law. Mojtaba himself was not present at the compound. He survived. His father had also survived an assassination attempt in 1981 with a permanently damaged arm, and that survival became part of his political identity. Now the son had survived too, his entire family gone, and 8 days later, Iran handed him its highest office. The world's biggest question right now: what kind of supreme leader will Mojtaba Khamenei be? The Daily Telegraph predicts he will view the United States as an implacable enemy and will be unlikely to make compromises or seek negotiations. Mehmet Ozalp of The Conversation wrote that Mojtaba may lean more heavily on the might of the IRGC than even his father did. He is going to have to get approval from us. If he doesn't, he is not going to last long. US President Trump was blunt. US Senator Lindsey Graham was even more direct, saying on X, "I believe it's just a matter of time before he meets the same fate as his father." The Israeli Defense Forces posted publicly in Persian, warning that they would target any successor and any assembly member who voted for that successor. But not everyone was threatening. Russian President Vladimir Putin pledged unwavering support. China said it opposed any targeting of the new supreme leader. And Mojtaba Khamenei wasted no time. On March 9, just one day after being announced, Iran launched its first wave of missiles under his command, targeting Israel and Gulf states. Not a statement, not a speech. His first act as supreme leader was a missile launch. Step back and look at the full picture. Iran's Islamic Republic was born in 1979 on one foundational principle: religious scholars, not kings, should rule. It was a revolution explicitly against monarchy, against dynasties, against fathers handing power to sons. And yet, in 2026, power passed from father to son. A man who, like his father in 1989, wasn't even fully qualified for the job under the constitution. But the law was adjusted, the vote was held under pressure, and the appointment was made while bombs were still falling. Rami Khoury of the American University of Beirut called it an act of defiance. Iran was telling America and Israel, "You wanted to destroy our system, we just proved it survives." Whether that act of defiance leads to more war or eventually to negotiation, nobody knows yet, because Mojtaba Khamenei, the man who spent his entire life in the shadows, has finally stepped into the light, and the world is for the first time truly watching. In just 8 days, Iran went from chaos to a new supreme leader, from a father who ruled for 36 years, to a son who has never once spoken publicly about leading Iran. The Shadow Prince is now in the light, and this story is still developing. AK World Vision will keep covering it, so make sure you're subscribed. If this video gave you value, drop a like, it helps this channel reach more people. And tell me in the comments, do you think Mojtaba Khamenei will seek peace, or will he be more dangerous than his father? Drop your answer below. I read every comment. I'm Amrendra Kumar. This is AK World Vision. See the world differently.